Good day, ma'am. This time, I'm going to tackle about what is curriculum evaluation through learning assessment. First, I'm gonna share to you what is Philippines Qualification Framework or the PQF. It is a national policy which describes the levels of educational qualifications and sets the standard for qualification outcomes. Meaning to say, it is a national policy wherein it describes the level of educational qualification of a person. Also, it sets standards for the qualification outcome in every profession. And in addition, it states here that the PQF specifies. Now, here's the framework. Here's the framework. As we can see, there are 8 levels. So we have level 1 wherein you need this to identify if asan na ka na belong level. For instance, you already finished the baccalaureate degree, then you are already in level 6 of the PQF. The level 1 to 4 tells certificate, wherein these levels can be acquired through TESDA. They are the one to give national certificate, but before you claim it, you need first to undergo a training. The next is the level 6, 7, and 8 is covered by the higher education. These are baccalaureate, post-baccalaureate, and doctoral and postdoctoral. We can also see here the level 5, which is the diploma. This is between TESDA and higher education, or CHED, or the Commission higher education. As we can see also here, we have the color orange or red, which is the grade 12 or the senior high school. It serves as the foundation sa 8 levels. And now we will proceed to the domains. The 3 domains. This help us to identify what we are going to do in different levels. And we will now proceed to the levels of and the competency descriptors required for each level for basic and higher education level. First, we have this domains, which is the knowledge, skills, and values. In level 1, which is the grade 12, possess functional knowledge across range of learning areas and technical skills in chosen career tracks with advanced competences in communication, scientific, critical and creative thinking, and use of technology. Another one is understanding of right or wrong, one's history and cultural heritage, deep respect of self and others. While in level 6, which is the baccalaureate, they possess broad and coherent knowledge in the field of discipline or profession. And in level 7 is the master's degree. They possess broad and deep knowledge in the field of discipline or profession. And in level 8, generate new knowledge, skills with established values in the discipline or profession. Now, let's proceed to application. In grade 12, they apply functional knowledge, technical skills and values in academic and real-life situations through reasoning, informed decision-making, and judicious use of resources. In baccalaureate, they apply knowledge, skills, and values in their professional work. And in level 7, they apply deep knowledge, skills, and values in the professional work and research. And in level 8, apply in professional work and research as a leader or initiator. In degree of independence, apply skills in varied situations with minimal supervision. And in level 6, they work independently na, alone or in teams. And in level 7, they work independently. And in level 8, highly independent in work, initiate and lead and initiate others. Now, we will now proceed to matching. We have different levels. We have 4 levels. So in here we have different learning outcome. First, in level 1 is knowledge, factual knowledge. So meaning, here you will think what do you want your students to know in terms of facts, concepts, procedure, and multiple thinking. So example here is the question, how to dissect a frog. While in process, in this assessment, we will be talking the skills that the students used based on facts. No? So, in knowledge, kay it talks only about unsa lang ang imong gusto sa learners nga ilahang ma-learn. However, here sa process is what do you want your students to do with what they know. So, meaning, in knowledge is the question lang siya in how to dissect a frog, but in process, it's mas imuha pa sila gi-appeal sa process, just like here sa example. Dissect a frog and identify the different major body parts. Now, moving on to level 3, this outcomes talks about the understanding big ideas or concepts. So, in here, you need to understand what are those ideas and concepts. So, sample guide questions. What do you want students to understand? So, unsa tong imong gusto nilang ma-learn based on the different things that they already know and kailahan nang na-learn na. So, for example, how do the elements of weather interact to produce a climate change? No? So, here's the last level is level 4, which is the product or performance. So, these are very common kay we can the product here is kanang mga portfolio. So, ang research. So, in here, what are the products or the performance or let's say, ang ilahang overall outcome of this different level. Now, here, so assessment tools for each level of learning outcomes. So, we have here knowledge, process, understanding, learning outcomes. So, this is the type of test to measure their knowledge, process, understanding. So, here, students who can show that they have gained knowledge can apply such knowledge and have achieved several meanings on the particular knowledge, have achieved the learning outcomes. So the 3 types of learning outcomes and on the different levels can be assessed in many ways with the use of appropriate tools. First, these are the types of tests to measure knowledge, process, and understanding. First, we have objective. So when we say objective, the answer must be only one. And in subjective, it is opposite because you will answer the questions on your own perspective or on your own ideas. First, we will talk about what is the objective. So meaning, as I said a while ago, that objective is having only one answer. In objective also is, it is easy to check. No? Kay naara man siya isa ka answer. And you just only need paper and pencil, and all you have to do is to answer a certain question. First, we have pencil and paper test. So the test is written on the paper and requires the pencil to write. And under sa paper and pencil test, we have here simple recall. So the most common tool to measure knowledge. So there are varieties that fill in the blanks: enumeration, identification, and simple recall. Next is alternative response test. So, ang alternative response test, this is the type of the pencil and paper test where 2 options are provided. So, naa siya true or false, or maybe you can use yes or no options only. So, there are only 2 options lang. While in multiple choice test this is the type identified as the most versatile test type because it can measure a variety of learning outcome. So Next is diri sa multiple choice test is the correct alternatives is called the answer, and the rest they are just distractors sa imuha. So, all you have to do is to choose only what is the correct answer. And here, other alternatives are clearly wrong and only one is correct answer. This can be constructed in either direct question or completion of the sentence. First is, here's the example. So the direct question is na siya complete sentence. And while diri sa incomplete sentence kay mura siya og naay blank. So mao ni unsaon paghimo og multiple choice. Next, we have here best answer type. So meaning best answer type is you all of the choices are all correct, but you only have to choose the best answer. Next is the matching type test. So a matching type test is made up of two parallel columns. So the first column A as the premise that present the problem, and the second column that provides the answer. So it is useful in meaning factual information as well as relationships between two things, ideas, or concepts. It reduces guessing to the minimum as compared to alternative response tests. So ang mga relationship that can be used in matching type tests. So in matching type tests, there are two, no? There's a perfect matching type test and the imperfect matching type test. First, we have the perfect matching type test. So ang column A is less than the number of responses in column B, meaning ang naadiri sa iyahang number sa iyahang problem is mas less, no, kaysa sa diri as the responses. So meaning di ay naay mabilin nga responses nga isa or maybe two, and diri sa perfect matching type test dili na pwede magbalik-balik ang answer. While in imperfect matching type is dili pud siya equal number of the responses in column B. Kay diri sa column A, the premise or the problem is mas daghan siya kaysa sa column B, which is the responses. So, meaning, pwede magbalik-balik sang answer, unlike sa perfect matching type test. Next is, we have the subjective. Dari na sa subjective, meaning, you have to express your own ideas, and it is also difficult to test through objective type test. So essay test, restricted response item, extended response item. So first we have here essay test. 8 items allow students to freedom of response. Students are free to select, relate, and present ideas on their own words. So, kabalo naman taon sa ng essay test, no? And here's the restricted response item is like an expanded form of short answer type objective test. So, naa siya limitation on both the content scope and the form of student response. So, when you answer the question, you have to stay within certain boundaries lang. So the question limits what you can talk about and how much you can say. So diba na ating mga teachers nga gina-include nila sa question or sa sentence nga just write it only kanang one paragraph pareha ni diri sa example. So, write it on mga 250 words only. So, naa siya limitation if asa lang dapat nimo, asa lang taman dapat ang imong answer. and it is having a small space to express your thoughts instead of having a whole page to write on. But here sa extended response item is opposite siya, no? Kay the student is generally free to select any factual information that can help in organizing the response. Meaning, in an extended essay is learners have more freedom to choose what factual or what facts they want to include in their response. So they are encouraged to use a higher order thinking skills like analysis, synthesis, evaluation, and so on. And here, now, proceed to levels of assessment for the levels of learning outcomes. It is the levels of assessment. It is the description of the levels of the learning outcomes, which are knowledge, process or skill, understanding products, or performance. So the levels of learning outcomes are also used to describe the levels of assessment. First, we have here the knowledge, the level 1, which we assess in WH question. O ang type of assessment niya is pencil and paper or non-paper and pencil. So ang iyahang value is in assessment is 15%. While sa process or skill, which is the level 2, constructed meaning from knowledge. And pencil and paper ang iyahang assessment or non-paper and pencil. And it is 25%. In level 3, understanding, explanations, interpretations, applications, pencil and paper ang type of assessment, and it is 30%. And the last one is level 4, which is products or performance. So transfer of understanding to life situation as products or performance. So ang iyahang type of assessment is checklist and rating scale. So it is 30%, a total of 100%. Now, let's proceed to assessment tools to authentic learning performance and product. Level 4 of the learning outcomes in K-pop can be assessed through performance or product. So these learning outcomes can be best done real-life tasks. So if may ngunta og real-life task, no, kay it is about in real-life situation ng mga problems. And the most common of the authentic assessment are the performance assessment and the use of portfolio. First, we have performance assessment tools is the checklist. It is a tool that consists of a list of qualities that are expected to be observed as present or absent. The presence is to be marked checked and the absence is to be marked X. So this is one of the requirements and how to make or what is a checklist. Next is the rating scale. It is a tool that uses a scale in a number line is as a basis to estimate the numerical value of a performance or a product. The value is easier to score if the points are in whole numbers. So the most popular rating scale is called Likert scale. So this is one of the requirements on how to make a rating scale. Next is rubrics for portfolio. It is a compilation of the experiences as authentic learning outcomes presented with evidence and reflections. To assess the total learning experiences as presented in a holistic package, an assessment tool called a rubric is utilized. So these are the criteria, no? Contents of the portfolio, objectives of the portfolio, quality of entries, presentation of entries, and promptness. Next, we have here the learning levels of learning outcomes or assessment. First is knowledge. So it is about testing what students know, such as through quizzes on written exams. And in process or skills, process skills is about evaluation students' ability to apply knowledge in real world. So it's in real world scenarios or perform tasks. So often through practical assessment or simulations. Next, it's understanding. Explanation, interpretation, application, empathy, meaning it is about assessing student depth of comprehension and critical thinking, often through essays, presentations, or projects that require analysis and synthesis of information. Next, we have here the grades at the end of the school year and how these are computed. We have here the kindergarten. Use of checklists, anecdotal record, and portfolios are used instead of numerical grades, which are based on kindergarten curriculum. So, meaning the teachers based on sa mga outputs sa learners, such as drawing activities or sa mga um, shaping activities or sa mga coloring activities. Now, next is the grade 1 to grade 10, which is the junior high. So, the average of the quarter grades produces the end of the year grade. So, the general average is computed by dividing the sum of all final grades by the total numbers of learning areas. Each learning area has equal weight. So, meaning, here are the following guidelines should be followed. So first is the learners are graded on 3 components. So every sa every quarter. So we have here written work, performance tasks, and quarterly assessment. These components are given a specific weight that vary, but mano sila ang mga languages, ARALPAN, ESP, and so on and so forth. All grades are based on the weighted score of the learners. Next, we have senior high school. The average of the quarterly grades produces the semester grade. So, here, first, learners are graded. First is, learners are graded on 3 components every quarter. But here, there are also core subject, academic track, and technical, vocational, TV, sports, art, design. So these components are given a specific weight that vary, and all grades are based on the weighted score of learners. Then the last one is reporting summative grade by quarter, semester, or end of the year. Now, let's discuss about how teachers interpret the grades that they computed. First level is first level of proficiency descriptors. So let's start with the beginning, below, which is below up to 74, and developing, which is 75% to 79, approaching proficiency 80 to 84, proficient 65 to 84, and advanced is at 90 and above. So interpretation of the numerical values for all students areas is based on the minimum initial grade of 60, transmuted into an equivalent of 75 in the report card. Now the numerical grades are described in the different levels of proficiency in the different competences in the subject. So that's all. Thank you.